Hello, my name is Marissa, and I'm going to show you how to make this really cute earring. I'm going to make the other one with you today, and it's really simple. You don't need a whole lot of products, just a little bit of a few things. And I am starting with a size, I think it is a size 12 needle, although you can do this with a 10. You don't need to use a size 12 needle. It's just what I had here. And I have threaded on my needle about 3 feet of thread, and I am using the gray size 8 dragon thread. So the first thing I'm going to do is thread on, and I forgot to take out some seed beads. I'm going to thread on my needle 6 SuperDuos, separated by an 11/0 in between each one. Okay, so let's start with, and you can put a stop bead on the end of your thread. What I'm gonna do is go through one of my SuperDuos, one of the holes, it doesn't matter which one, and then I'm going to go through the other hole. That way when it's time, so all I did was bring my thread through my SuperDuo, through one hole, and then I put it through the other one. So this is working as my stop bead. So I have my 6 SuperDuos separated by an 11/0. Now I'm just going to circle around to this SuperDuo here that I'm coming out of, and I'm going to make a circle. So this is what you should have. Very simple, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew on. Can you see me? Yeah. Okay. We're going to sew on to our next SuperDuo, and we're going to still keep working on the same hole that we've been using, okay? The one that we strung at the beginning, we're still going to be working in that same hole. So you should still have a hole that doesn't have any string through it, except for this one if you did it the way I did here, using it as a stop bead. Okay, so coming out of a SuperDuo, pick up 3 11/0s, and then you're going to go through that same SuperDuo you're coming out of. You're just going to circle around, going in through the opposite direction of how you're coming out of. Did I say that right? Well, you're circling around that SuperDuo you're coming out of, there. And then going through your next 11/0, going to your 11/0 after it, and your next SuperDuo after that 11/0. And then you're going to put those 11/0s on top of that SuperDuo. And pardon my voice. I'm getting over something or other that I had. I don't even know what it was. It was like a sinus thing or something. And then it just kind of got worse before it got better. So, but I'm better now. I just sound kind of weird. All right, so I'm coming out of the SuperDuo here. Okay, so now we're going to share this closest 11/0 to the SuperDuo that we're coming out of. So I'm only going to need 2 11/0s. I'm going to circle around to go through that same SuperDuo, but first I'm going to catch that 11/0 that's right here from my previous one. So that's what we're going to do. So this is what I have. Pull, and then go through the SuperDuo, and then now we're going to go through the 11/0 after the SuperDuo and the SuperDuo after that 11/0, so we can do that again. And let's do that again. Okay, and I'm turning my piece in my hand. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 2 11/0s. We're going to share this 11/0 here, and then pull, and then go through the SuperDuo that I'm coming out of, go through the 11/0 after it, and then the next SuperDuo to do that again. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way around, sharing this one 11/0. Okay, don't forget to share that 11/0, and then I will meet you back when we're at our last one. Okay, so here we are at our last SuperDuo, And those of you that are experienced know what I'm going to do next. And we're going to share this one and this 11-0. So I'm coming out of the SuperDuo, come up to this 11-0. I'm going to pick up one 11-0, and then I'm going to go through this 11-0 from my previous SuperDuo and pull, whoops, and then I'm going to go through this SuperDuo again so I can circle back around and come to the top. Okay, well, let me show you what I have first. This is what I have. Now we want to make, now how you see these 6 11-0s that are sticking out, we're going to pull all those together. We're going to do that by going up, not through these 11-0s from our first step, from one of these 11-0s from the step we just did, and then sew to the middle 11-0, and we're going to put all these middle 11-0s together. We're not going to add anything. We're just going to go through each one. And you can do this a couple of times. So I got 3. And then I'm going to get these 2. And then I'm going to get this one. And I'm going to go through them one more time. So I'm just going to kind of hold it in my hand now because it's easier. And through these 2 again. And I'm trying not to get my tail thread in there. So, okay. And these 2 again. And you don't have to pull like super tight. Just, you know, just pull to where it looks good. And mine looks good. All right, now I'm going to sew up out of this section by going through this 11-0. And then I'm going to go through a SuperDuo. And now we're going to do that again, but we're, instead of adding 3 11-0s, we're going on our first SuperDuo, we're going to add 5. So right now we just did this part of our earring, and now we're going to do this part, okay? All right, so we're going to pick up 5 11-0s. Now this is our first SuperDuo that we're working on, so we're picking up 5. Coming out of this one, I'm going to circle back around and go through it again. And I'm also going to go through the 11-0 and the next SuperDuo. You can't see because of my fingers, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. And keep those on top. All right. Now we're going to add 4 11-0s, and we're going to share the 1. The way we did in our step before this one. You know how you shared the 1 11-0 on the side, that very first one here? That's what we're doing again. Only now instead of picking up 3, we're picking up 4. So do that all the way around and I will meet you back. Okay, so this is my jumbled up little mess. And I'm at my last SuperDuo again. And again, we're going to share this 11-0 from our first SuperDuo that we added this grouping. And I'm already going through it. Now I'm going to add 3 11-0s. And I'm going to share this 11-0 from this other SuperDuo. So this is what I have, and I'm pulling, and there's my 5. So now I'm going to go through my SuperDuo, and when I come out, we're going to finish adding, and I did catch that 1 11-0 here. That's fine. You need to go through it anyway, so that you can work on the top of your piece. Okay, so here we go, and this is what I have. this little basket type of thing. So now we have to sew to our middle 11-0. You know how you have 2 11-0s on each side of your SuperDuos and you have 3 on top? That's from the 5. So we need to go to our 3rd bead, or which would be our middle bead here. So, or if you're just counting like the 3 at the top, you're not counting these 2 on the sides, you would say, you know, well, as long as it's the middle bead. I don't want to say the 2nd bead because that's confusing because you added 5. So from the 5, just come out through the middle one, which is the 3rd one. From here, I am going to add 3 15-0s in between each 11-0. And before I close it up, I'm going to put my little chaton in there. So I'm coming out of one of my middle 11-0s already, and I'm going to go through my next one. And now some of these chatons are a little bit thicker at the top than others. So in this step, you might also need to do 2 15-0s instead of 3. It just depends on if 2 15-0s will be enough to close it once your chaton has been put there, and if it doesn't, you may need to add 3. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, so I'm adding 3 because I know with these chatons that I'm using, it's a little bit more substantial at the top, so I do know I need 3 for this chaton that I'm using. Okay, and then 3 more, and I'm just making sure that I am going through the middle bead from each grouping, and I'm just turning it as I go through it. All right. Okay, and I just need 1 more, so I'm just gonna grab my chaton and kind of like put it already. So yes, I do need 3 for this chaton, and I'm just gonna go through my next 11-0. I'm gonna hold it in place, and I'm gonna go through everything again, either 1 or 2 more times. I promise you this is easy when you're holding it in your hands. Okay, so I'm so sorry I was not in frame. So this is what I did. I added my 3 in between each 11-0, and then I just put my chaton in place, and now I'm just going to go over everything I think 2 more times, and that will tighten everything up, and I will meet you back after I do that. Okay, so I tightened all of my beads around my chaton, and this is what I have, and it's pretty simple. So this is the back, this is the top. From here, after you do that, just follow your thread path by going through ending one of these 11-0s, down one of these 11-0s, one of these 11-0s, and again, not the 11-0s from our first step. The 11-0s that we were adding on top of the SuperDuos. So from this 11-0, I just sewed either way into either one of these 2 SuperDuos. So I'm coming out of a SuperDuo. Now what I'm going to do is this is the fun part, because I'm going to hop to my other hole of my SuperDuo. And now we're going to add our fabulous DiscDuos, and I love these things. So, and I didn't have them ready. Okay. So, coming out of this hole that we haven't used yet, hop onto it. And now we're just going to add DiscDuos in between each one of our SuperDuos. check your holes, make sure they're both good to go, and start adding away. So again, easy step, just adding DiscDuos all in between each one of these SuperDuos. Really, really easy step, and we're actually a little bit more than halfway through our project. These are really fun earrings and they work up really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna finish adding my DiscDuos and then I will show you what to do after that. So I finished adding my DiscDuos. Now what we're going to do is hop on over to the other hole of our DiscDuo. And we are going to add another SuperDuo with some 11-Os. So again, I'm going to use some more SuperDuos, my 11-Os, and I'm gonna go in between each DiscDuo from that top hole. It's going to be 11-O, SuperDuo, 11-O, next SuperDuo. Okay, again, 11-O, SuperDuo, 11-O. Next, oh, I'm sorry, I said SuperDuo earlier. Next, DiscDuo, 11-O, SuperDuo, 11-O. Next, DiscDuo. And this step also is really easy. So is the one after this. So I don't know about you, but I love that. I love projects that are just relaxing and easy. And I mean, it's nice to do something complicated to, you know, something challenging. That's fun too. But sometimes you just want to do something quick and simple. And especially if you want to make something for yourself, like if you bought a shirt and you don't have anything that matches it, well then you can just whip up something really quickly. And this is one of those earrings that that comes together really quickly. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of these beads that I just added. Of course, I'm also going to go along through each of the DiscDuos as well. So I'm just gonna go one more time, one more pass. I'm not gonna pull super tight. I'm just gonna pull tight enough where everything is like this in place, okay? Just like this, all right? I will meet you back after that. So this is what I did. I went over them again, and this is how my piece looks. Now we need to sew. We need to be coming out of one of our SuperDuos and go ahead and hop onto the other hole of your SuperDuo. And from here, we're going to go from SuperDuo to SuperDuo from the outer hole. From outer hole of the SuperDuo to the next SuperDuo, the outer hole. And we're going to add our crystals, our little 3mm bicones. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need one more. So we're going to do again 11-O. Bicone and 11-O, and we're going to go through our next SuperDuo and we're going to bring those in. Okay, so you can kind of help them along. Oh, I forgot an 11-O here. Okay, let me sew back out, pick up an 11-O, go through my SuperDuo. So that's what we're adding on this part. Very simple. 11-O, my crystal, 11-O, and go through your next SuperDuo. Now I'm using 3mm bicones, but there's no law that says you can't use rondelles or rounds. You can't, or 2mm. You might have to add a 15-O. You might have to make some slight modifications, but this is just an embellishment. You can add whatever you want. You can even add just like a bunch of you can even add seed beads, like 11-0s and maybe an 8-0 and an 11-0. You don't have to add these crystals. I like crystals, so that is what I'm doing. And I like how the bicone shape looks up against, you know, the DiscDuos. So I don't know, I just like that. So doing my last one, going through my last, and I am going to reinforce this again. I'm gonna go through it, I guess, one more time. And also, this is what I have. You don't want to go through it too tight. Just, you know, just tight enough to where everything's nice and snug, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Plus, sometimes I like reinforcing because it's fun, like in this case, because these beads are so easy to go through. It's kind of satisfying in a way. So, and oh, I just want to point out too that I'm using gray thread and I'm using spring flare color bicones. And even though it's a dark thread, it does not look bad with these bicones. I guess because these bicones are they're the spring flare 3mm, but I know they're AB. They're not just, I mean, you can see the AB, even, you know, on camera, you can see the AB. But you see how they're just so pretty that that this color thread doesn't look bad with them. Okay, so this is what I have. Now what I'm going to do is add my ear wire. Okay, I found my wire guard and I did kind of close it up a little bit more. So, okay, on my needle is 2 15-0s and 11-0. And then our 6mm crystal. And then I'm going to pick up another 11-0. And then I'm going to pick up my wire guard. Oops, I didn't get my 11-0 on there. My 11-0. And then my wire guard. I can't see. All right, so going through it, going through the other little part here, and I'm gonna go ahead and catch my 11-0. And then as I'm pulling, I'm just gonna make sure that my string goes into the wire guard there. Okay, I'm just gonna hold everything and pull. And oh, I should have caught the 11-0 after my crystal, but it's okay, I'll get it now. Maybe. So I might have to back up a little bit. All right, got it. I think, yeah, I got it. Okay. So we're good. And now we're going to pick up 2 more 15-0s. Go back through our, oops, circle back through our DiscDuo that we're coming out of. Remember how we were coming out on this side, and now we're gonna go in through this side. So that'll put our little bail in place, okay? So now I'm just going to go up through everything again so I can reinforce, and then I'm going to, well, I'll show you after that was next. Okay, so I reinforced my little bail, and then I just, when I came out on this side, because I went through my DiscDuo, then I went through it, and I came out on this side. I just went through each of these, let me show you, each of these beads here, and I did do a couple of knots. I did a knot here in between the 11-0 and the DiscDuo and brought it into the DiscDuo. And you don't have to do very many, because at the end, when I reinforced this outer part and I did a knot, and then I ended up here, went through this DiscDuo, went back the outer hole on my DiscDuo, I mean the inner hole, and now I have met my threads. So I'm just going to do a knot. So, and it's real simple. to meet your threads when you're using 2-hole beads like this, it's just so easy. That helps a lot. Okay. The last thing I'm gonna do is put on my ear wire. And I'm not on camera because, okay, now I am. All right, so this is what I have. These are my earrings, and I think they're really cute. I think they are easy and just very, very fun to make. They don't take a whole lot of time to whip up. Here's another pair that I had made. So these are these. Okay, so well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you do make these, and thank you very much for watching.